How is it going, everyone? We are coming up on the release of the latest entry into the Dying Light franchise. Yes, it started off as a DLC, but now it is a big new entry that some are looking at it as Dying Light 3, others are looking at it as more of a bridge the gap kind of game. It started off as DLC, it's now a major title, it's gonna have a lot of content. Maybe not as sizable as some of the other Dying Light experiences, but definitely a big game to sink your teeth into. And incredibly exciting to several people is the fact that the main protagonist of Dying Light 1, Kyle Crane, is back in Dying Light the Beast. In this video, ahead of its September 19th release, I want to go over some major details about the game and some things you should know, what's included in the various editions of the game. You've got the base game as well as the deluxe edition. We'll go over the pre-order bonus. We'll go over the system requirements on PC, as Dying Light has always been a game that's pushed the envelope a little bit, but at the same time has been fairly well optimized. And bear in mind that Dying Light the Beast, at least right out the gate, will be a digital-only release. There is a physical edition planned. However, we don't have many details about that. On top of that, it will be available on only PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and PC initially. The PlayStation 4 and Xbox One release will come out sometime down the line. But for the initial launch on September the 19th, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and PC. On top of that, as I mentioned at the top, this game did initially start off as a piece of DLC for Dying Light 2, and initially it was to be bundled with Dying Light 2, the Ultimate Edition, when that was sold, when Dying Light 2 was available and the whole details of the DLC weren't set into place. If you did buy Dying Light 2's Ultimate Edition, you will get Dying Light the Beast. I don't want to say for free because you paid a premium for Dying Light 2's Ultimate Edition, but you get the idea. You won't have to pay another $60 for Dying Light the Beast, so that is fantastic. You'll just get access to the game, and it's still like you paid for Dying Light the Beast to be a piece of DLC. But nevertheless, again, we'll go over some of the general information as well as some of the design choices as well. The game centers around Kyle Crane. You are Kyle Crane, and after years of brutal experiments, you want revenge. Experience a unique blend of open world and survival horror as you hunt down the man who transformed you into a half-man, half-beast. Yes, this will still be a bigger open world title for you to explore. There will be optional content. You can take your time. You can rush through the main story. And as far as how much content will be in the game, let's go over that, because that is something a lot of people are going to be concerned about. While the game is $60 and you will get a 20-hour main story campaign, generally it seems to be around the 18 to 20-hour range for the main story campaign. Now, ultimately, if you want to do all of the additional stuff, what was specified is that there will be 20 to 30 hours of additional stuff on top of the main story. Now, maybe that's a little bit hyperbolic. 50 hours for this game probably would be if you're really taking your time, but it's a game that you'll be able to sink your teeth into, and it's not like it'll be an 8 to 10 hour campaign, and it's not a smaller scale game. I think there is a misconception about the game that is seemingly dispelled a little bit, and I feel like the fact that Techland has been so transparent about the fact, like, dude, you're gonna get a lot of content out of this game. It's not a DLC, and I get why people have the hesitancy with games that start off as DLC and then spun into bigger games. Assassin's Creed Mirage, for example, wasn't the lengthiest game in the world, but I even thought that was great as a standalone title that initially started off as DLC. You had experiences like Halo 3 ODST, which ODST was a super short campaign. But nonetheless, I think with Dying Light the Beast, you are getting a sizable experience for your $60, so I wouldn't be too worried about that as one of the aspects. And again, the game centers around Kyle Crane, and after being captured by the Baron and enduring his painful experiments for years, you escape, but now a battle rages inside you. Zombie DNA clashes with human, and you struggle to control the beast within. You want revenge, but first you must tame it. It's your only option, and that'll be a big aspect of the game, hence the name, The Beast. Once you enter the zombie-infested Castor Woods, every battle will be a fight for survival, especially when night falls. You're half beast, half survivor. You'll play as Kyle Crane, a hero with the DNA of both man and beast. Freely switch between two playstyles and face a fierce conflict that leads to the acceptance of the monster within. Push the brutality of Dying Light's combat to the extreme. Crush skulls, rip heads off, and tear enemies in half as you constantly fight to control your evolving beastly powers. And Dying Light has always been a fairly gruesome game. Take the gruesome nature of Dying Light and up it to 11 with this one, because this is blood and guts galore. You'll have a variety of different monstrous creatures that you'll fight against, and on top of that, a lot of gore to go around. The distinct experiences of night and day, a signature of the Dying Light series, merge into one unique world. Explore and scavenge by day, but remember the constantly ticking clock, because once the sun sets, the night unleashes horrors that leave you with just 3 choices: run, hide, or fight for your life. And a Dying Light staple, the parkour gameplay returns once again, improved and better than ever. Run the rooftops and rule the roads. Feel the adrenaline rush of the best-in-class first-person parkour. Jump from rooftop to rooftop and overcome any obstacle, and when that's not enough, grab the wheel of an off-road vehicle and ruthlessly tear through hordes of zombies. The advanced movement system is easily accessible but rewards those who master it. It's a beautiful zombie apocalypse. Next-gen visuals bring the handcrafted zombie apocalypse to life. Every detail tells a story of survival. Lose yourself in the majesty of Castor Woods. Explore the tourist town, industrial area, national park, farmland, swamps, and more, all full of beauty and decay. And share the adventure. While many of you will play Dying Light the Beast solo, you can play the game fully cooperatively. Band together with up to 3 other players in co-op play. Brave the dangers of Castor Woods, where you can experience every encounter, every discovery, and every twist as a unit with shared progress. You'll be able to jump into the game and play with your friends as well, and the visual and technical presentation of Dying Light the Beast is one of the most focused on elements, and they put out a post as far as designing the world and the visuals. And since the beginning of Dying Light, the goal has always been to create the most immersive zombie apocalypse. Throughout the work on the series, they've learned that achieving this requires mastering 3 key areas: visual, sound design, and gameplay mechanics. And as far as Dying Light the Beast goes, there's a lot of depth and nuance in the game. Visual details and the advanced graphical engine make exploration a real treat during the day, but for a game like Dying Light, what counts the most is how atmospheric the night is. After all, this is where our open world meets survival horror formula shines best, using in-game systems to create challenges and frights for players. The Beast's goal was to create a tense, terrifying night experience with a heavy, nerve-wracking tension that could rival the legendary after-hours moments of the first Dying Light. We assembled a dedicated strike team of programmers, game designers, and level designers, iterating weekly and continuing their work throughout the game's entire production. Some weeks were focused on volatile behavior, others on spawning rules and chase mechanics, resulting in an experience that you'll remember for a long time. They've pulled a lot of levers to achieve the horror and scary feeling that they wanted for the night, and they made it darker in general, but they also discovered is that the Castor Woods setting helped us a lot in conveying the atmosphere that we were looking for, adding different shades to it. Another important decision as far as the night experience was strictly on volatiles, the apex predators, and this is all driven choices that they've taken along the way. We redesigned how volatiles move, both alone and in coordinated packs, so they can hunt players more effectively across all areas of the map. We iterated on our spawning technology to make you feel the presence no matter where they are. On top of that, they also tweaked the experience with the vehicle in mind, as well as account for the diversity of the map. And the element of the atmosphere and the tension in the game, that is one of the biggest focus that Techland had with Dying Light the Beast, and another aspect of that is immersive sounds. Another element that adds to the scariness of the night is the sound design. Because we want you to feel like you're truly there, the main focus was the ambience of the night. We made it subtle so you can hear the footsteps of the volatiles and the infected well and locate them precisely among your surroundings, being able to understand their distance just from hearing alone. But once you're spotted, everything changes. First you hear the characteristic scary sound, and then the music kicks in, full of tension and highlighted by Kyle breathing heavily. But when you finally manage to escape the chase and find a safe zone, that'll offer you shelter until the sun rises. You can also discover another side of Castor Woods. What's scary during the night can actually look and sound beautiful during the day. Each biome, from the town through the swamp to the dense forest, has its own unique, highly detailed soundscape. In the city, you hear cracking windows and antennas; in the forest, snapping branches; in the swamps, the splash of water and other subtle natural sounds as well. And there's been a lot of attention to the little details throughout the game, and if that's not enough, they've also hidden over 100 collectibles and countless Easter eggs across the world for you to discover. There's been a lot of emphasis put to the world design and how it's crafted to make sure it's immersive in daytime and nighttime, but nighttime is really where that survival horror element is going to come out as well. And as I mentioned, parkour and combat, a big focus of the game. The parkour gameplay to me has been a standout of the Dying Light franchise going back to the original. And this time around, parkour feels grounded with natural weighty body movement and carefully balanced jump physics that eliminate floatiness. Players can climb anywhere without stamina limits, but must use observation to reach tricky spots. There are no parkour assists in default mode, keeping the challenge realistic, while the environment of Caster Woods allows for seamless flow and exploration. Kyle now has 17 unique edge grab animations and over 100 new animations that shows agility and skill at every step. Combat is noted to be physical, brutal, and creative. It's based on a new physics engine that delivers realistic hit reactions and precise impact on enemy bodies. Swing and stop animations have been improved to make every hit feel powerful, while active ragdoll and short animations create fluid, responsive reactions. Human enemies support stealth playstyle and use advanced cover mechanics during shootouts with up to 22 different positioning strategies, and the damage model lets players destroy over a dozen body parts with more visible and varied wounds than before, making every encounter intense and rewarding. A lot of that will bring a level of depth and nuance to the gameplay. And remember, it's not just the enemies as far as human enemies. The monstrosities you'll encounter also have a lot of different reactions that they're going to give you and how you can tackle those as well. I do want to go over the PC system requirements before I wrap up this video. I appreciate Techland having 4 tiers of system requirements and giving a lot of insight into the specifics of how the game is going to run. Minimum 1080p 30 frames per second. That is for the low graphics preset. An NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1060, a Radeon RX 5500 XT, 6GB of GPU video memory, an Intel Core i5-13400F or an AMD Ryzen 7 5800X, 16GB of RAM. Recommended is for 1440p at 60 frames per second at the medium graphics preset. You're looking at an RTX 3070 Ti for that, a Radeon RX 6750 XT, and an Intel Arc B580, 8GB of GPU memory, Intel i5-13400F or a Ryzen 7 7700 and 16GB of RAM. High, that's 4K 60 frames per second at the high graphics preset, NVIDIA GeForce RTX 4070 Ti or a Radeon RX 7900 GRE, 12GB of GPU memory, an i7-13700K or a Ryzen 7 7800X 3D, 32GB of RAM, and then Ultra 4K 60 frames per second. They do note ultra ray tracing with frame generation, so good to give us clarity on that. An RTX 5070 or a Radeon RX 9070, Intel Arc B580 on that as well. 12GB of GPU memory and an Intel Core i9 14900K or a Ryzen 9 7950 X3D, and that's with 32GB of RAM as well. They also actually give you laptop specifications, which that you don't see common. I feel like Techland's put a lot of work into this PC version, so that's great to see, especially with recent releases like Borderlands only having 2 tiers of system requirements, and that game didn't even give you specifications as far as what settings it was running at and things like that. That's what you gotta look for when it comes to PC system requirements. There's the Dying Light the Beast way of handling it, and then there's the Borderlands 4 way of handling it. Sometimes there's issues across the board, but you like to see what Dying Light the Beast is doing. Lastly, as far as pre-order bonus goes, either the standard or the deluxe edition will get you the Hero of Haran bundle, which includes the Ultimate Survivor outfit, the Haran combat knife, the Follower crossbow, In Jade's memory pistol, and the Caster Woods pistol as well. The deluxe edition will be $69.99, so $10 more expensive on that. And you will get some in-game items. You'll receive the official soundtrack wallpapers and the Caster Woods Prepper Bundle, as well as a detailed tourist map that highlights locations worth exploring. Official soundtrack, wallpaper pack, Caster Woods Tourist Map, Caster Woods Prepper Bundle, Caster Woods Prepper Outfit, Survivalist SMG, and the Roadhog as well. All available for $10 extra. Honestly, the base game seems the route to go as far as that's concerned. No fake early access tied to it either, which you love to see. And at this point, we have no clarification on whether or not it'll be deck verified. Based on the fact that the system requirements on the minimum side of things are fairly low, I feel like it will be able to be ran on the deck, but we'll see how that turns out. And while Dying Light the Beast was scheduled to initially drop on September the 19th, actually, it was initially scheduled for August 22nd, then it got pushed to September 19th, but they have since upped the release date to September the 18th. It will be unlocking 9 a.m. Pacific time on September the 18th, 12 p.m. Eastern, so you'll be able to check out the game a little bit earlier on that as well. That's gonna do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts on Dying Light the Beast, and if you're gonna pick it up, sound off down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.